Okay, people, since a little over a month ago, I did a Saturday Morning TVLog Special on my favorite Saturday morning cartoons of the 1980s. Now, here comes another one, but this time it's on Saturday morning cartoons of the 90s, right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, Saturday Morning TVLog. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews Saturday Morning TV Log. My name is Doyle, better known to y'all as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you folks another special. This time around I'm going to be focusing on my favorite Saturday morning cartoons of the 1990s. Now you'll be expecting shows from syndication and other stations and the Fox network. There is some WB shows, but not too many though, since I didn't have the WB network from day one, unfortunately. But I did get to see some of their shows in reruns, so expect to see maybe a few on them. Now, I do hope you'll enjoy this. This will be in two parts. Now, before I begin, this is probably going to be where you're probably going to hate me for this. I'm excluding shows that we're seeing on weekdays before Saturday morning, so that means you're not going to see Darkwing Duck, Goof Troop, Mighty Ducks, Timon and Pumbaa, Aladdin, because they aired on the Disney afternoon before their Saturday morning showings. I'm also excluding UPN Kids shows since that was a Sunday morning block. I am also excluding weekday afternoon tunes and shows that actually got started in primetime, like Batman the Animated Series and Tiny Toon Adventures, Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs. Those tunes. I humbly apologize, but those were not officially Saturday morning shows. Pinky and the Brain, I'm sorry that doesn't count. I found out it started out as a primetime show on Sundays. Sorry. But anywho, I hope you're ready for this ranking. There's 50 shows here, okay? And these are gonna be shows you probably don't remember, but I do. So here we go. Coming in at number 50 is Midnight Patrol from 1990. Now this show was also known as Potsworth and Company in the UK. Now, where this was actually first created. Now, of course, I remember watching this on the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. So, one thing I forgot to mention, you will get to see some shows that were shown on the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera, as well as the Amazing Adventures block on here, since I actually saw the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera along with Amazing Adventures on Sunday mornings, but I'm sure you saw them on Saturday mornings in your area, though. Okay? Now, Midnight Patrol is easily probably one of the many forgotten tunes of the 90s, about these kids that enter the dream zone. There was Keiko, Carter, let's see, what was it? Nick and Rosie, and of course their dog Potsworth, and they take on the Nightmare Prince. Yeah, I haven't seen this show in ages. But believe me, this is easily probably one of the most forgotten tunes ever. If I can find some episodes, I'm going to try and relive this show, because this show has not been seen in a long time. I do remember watching this, though, but it's pretty fun. But I think this is a very underrated and forgotten show. But even so, it's really fun. If you haven't seen it, give it a try. Midnight Patrol. Adventures in the Dream Zone was credited as. That's number 50. And number 49 is Pro Stars from 1991. Now, if I had this thing high, I would probably get controversy. I know this show kind of got a lot of hate and what have you. This was one of the last cartoons ever to air on NBC before they went to the boring TNBC block. Pro Stars I used to watch. I only watch it just for fun, because it's the show with Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky. Now I always like The ending to the theme, Pro Stars. It's all about helping kids. I liked it for certain reasons. I have not relived this show yet. If I can find episodes, maybe there's a possibility I'll relive this someday, but I don't know. Pro Stars can be a little, but I like it for certain reasons. I mean, I liked how they featured the actual Pro Stars in live action form, but we only get to see a little bit of Michael. But we do get to see Bo and Wayne, though, talking a lot. Well, before and after the cartoon. So anyway, Pro Stars, I think, is pretty good in most ways. Anyway, that's number 49, and number 48 is Little Rosie from 1990, another forgotten tune of the 90s. Now, I've seen there's some episodes on YouTube. I'll try and relive this one, because I had not seen it since it even left the air. Because, of course, this is a show that kind of was a younger version of Roseanne Barr after the success of the original run of Roseanne, as a matter of fact. But I gotta say, this was kind of a cute show. I used to watch that. It was just so much fun, what have you. I mean, this kind of was trying to follow in the footsteps of some of the other shows smaller versions of characters we knew and loved, like Muppet Babies and the Flintstone Kids. Yeah. But even so, I think Little Rosie is a pretty cute show, from what I remember, and its intro too, which that was the last thing I remembered seeing, and it was on YouTube. I believe there's some episodes on here, and if they are, I'll watch them. I would love to relive Little Rosie. It's definitely pretty cute. It's number 48, and number 47 is Wish Kid from 1991. Another underrated show. This is the show with Macaulay Culkin that aired on NBC in their last year of Toons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this wasn't like the year. I liked it for certain reasons, because I liked Macaulay Culkin after seeing him in Home Alone and then in My Girl, which he actually filmed that, just did before this show came on. I mean, I liked this character of Nicholas McClary. I liked his friend Daryl, and his folks are pretty good. And I especially liked Frankie, that tough guy of a bully, and he gets mad when they call him Francis. He's like, nobody calls me Francis. Oh man, that's one bad boy. But I really liked Wish Kid. Of course, Nicholas gets a shooting star hits his baseball glove. He hits it 3 times, and magically becomes whatever he wants, whatever he wishes for. I really think that's pretty good. I've relived a little bit of this, but it's been a long time ago. But anyway, Wish Kid, it's pretty underrated. I don't know if y'all liked it or not. I can understand. But anyway, that's a pretty forgotten show, even though it has been re-aired on the now defunct Family Channel, now Freeform, and Toon Disney, of course. So Wish Kid is 47, and number 46 is another show with a celebrity, that being Rick Moranis in Gravedale High from 1990. Yeah, this show I did relive a few years ago on YouTube before, the episodes disappeared because of copyright. This show is from Hanna-Barbera along with NBC, who of course aired this. I have to say, I like this. At first I wasn't hooked on this because I had some other shows in the way, but I will tell you that I do think this is another underrated show where I think you will definitely enjoy this. If you've never actually seen the show before, of course, I liked Max, so of course that's the character Mr. Moranis plays. I liked let's see, Vinny, that's the take on Dracula with a little cross between the Fonz. Frankentyke, Reggie, this geeky red-haired werewolf. Let's see, there's a lagoon creature and surfer dude, Gil. Cleopatra, the big fat mommy chick, and of course Sid, based on the Invisible Man, and Blanche, of course, is a zombie Southern Belle. Yeah, it's been a long time since I last saw this, and lots of others. But I think this is like I said, this is a rarely remembered cartoon, very underrated. It looks like somebody's got the episodes up on here, and as long as they're not blocked for copyright, maybe one day I'll relive that show. Gravedale High, yeah, it's kind of a spooktacular show, or who knows, if they're still up, maybe I'll watch them this October for my spooktacular month, and do a Saturday morning log of it. You know what? That's what I'll do. We'll see. But anyway, this is Max teaches this here at this here monster school. Enough said. Gravedale High. It's pretty cool. It's number 46, and number 45 is Stone Protectors from 1990. Hang on a second. 1993. Gotta have my source, because I forget some things, but not a whole lot. Anyway, this, of course, was a show to try to catch on the popularity of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But this is easily an underrated tune. Of course, it's based on the Ace novelty toy line of the same name, about this oddly named rock group called the Rock Detectors, and they soon encounter these magical stones of power that turn into these big troll-like characters. Yeah, I do like these characters for certain reasons. And Chester, Angus, let's see, darn it. Okay, Clifford, Maxwell, and Cornelius. These characters are absolutely funny. We have their arch nemesis Zoc and his hatchet man Zink. Yeah. And of course, we have Empress Opal, who sends off these. Yeah, she splits the legendary Great Crystal into 6 pieces, but Lord Zoc manages to get his hands on the Dark One, but the rest manages to get to the other Stone Protectors. I think it's a pretty underrated show still. Again, sorry for sounding like a broken record, but it's really good for some ways. Episodes are actually on YouTube from the looks of it. It looks like it's actually got its own YouTube channel, but I may be wrong though. But anyway, Stone Protectors. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's number 45, and number 44 is Road Rovers from 1997. Now, this is a WB show, but I didn't get to see it, but I did catch it when Cartoon Network aired reruns of it. I saw a few times. It was a factual success, but unfortunately, it only lasted a mere season. Some of the characters are pretty good. It's about these, crime-fighting, superpower anthropomorphic dogs known as Kano Sapiens. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's fun in some ways. I mean, after WB had already had success with several other tunes, but this still proved to be a hit for them, but unfortunately it only lasted a season, so. But it's fine. I might try to give it another chance and watch it again someday. We'll see. So, But Roadrunners is pretty funny. It's number 44, and number 43 is the Power Team from... Let me see. Yeah, from 1990. Now, of course, although this was originally a segment on the game show Video Power, which I watched that. Of course, that later got put separate and got into a whole series. Of course, it's based on characters from video games that Acclaim Entertainment put out. There was Max Force from Narc, Kuros from Wizards and Warriors, Tyrone from Arch Rivals, The Basketball, and Quark from his own game, which was titled Quark. Of course, each week they take on various bad guys, most notably Mr. Big from Narc. Anyway, I will say this is not too bad of a tune. Like I said, I used to watch VO Power, and the show later got rerun on USA, but as Acclaim Masters. But of course, we all know that Acclaim didn't actually do these actual games like Narc and Arch Rivals because they were both arcade games from Midway. But of course, Quark was a Acclaim character, and so was Kuros from Wizards of Warriors, which that was developed by Rare, and Quark was developed by Atlas. Another game. Another character I almost forgot was the legendary monster truck Bigfoot, who also had a game as well. But anyway, I think this is another underrated tune. Not quite as good as Captain and the Game Master though, but it manages to do its extreme best. It's a pretty good show for most of the part. So the Power Team is number 43, and number 42 is Skeleton Warriors from 1994. Now, this, of course, is another underrated show. And I just know that it takes place on a fictional distant planet called Luminaire. It's been a long time since I saw this show. And the conflict of the plot revolves around the need to control the Light Star Crystal. Yeah. And these here, various characters will take on the sinister Baron Dark after he turns himself into a living skeleton. Of course, our heroes, aka the Legion of Light, consisting of Prince Lightstar, Grimskull, and Talon. Yeah, they take on him as they have been endowed with great powers through their half of the crystal. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen the show, but it's pretty cool and all. And I'm sorry, this was short-lived though, but it's an underrated show. Skeleton Warriors. Yeah, I think you should give this a shot if you've never seen it before. So anyway, that's number 42, and number 41 is alright then. Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Yes. From 1995. Now, this of course came out after the second movie, When Nature Calls. Now, this was from Canada because it was produced by Nirvana along with Morgan Creek, who produced the movies. I gotta say, now, while unfortunately The Mask or Dumb and Dumber, which came out, which also had an animated series, also based on Jim Carrey movies, didn't make the list, I feel this needs a little bit of respect. I'm pretty sure some of y'all do like it and some of you don't, because it did change the ways of Saturday Morning's cut by having its humor and what have you, just like in the movies. But don't worry, went out the language and what have you. I mean, I liked Ace. He was absolutely funny, and see, I liked his monkey companion Spike, who is absolutely hysterical. Let's see. Now, of course, we do get to see some of the characters from the actual first movie and what have you in these, including Mr. Chickadance, Ace's landlord, and Emilio and Aguado, of course. Yes. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say that this show was just as funny as the movie itself, and also the dude who wears two pairs of glasses. Why I forgot his name though, but he's in this episode too, not in the series as well. So, yeah, this show is just absolutely funny. I haven't seen it in some time, but it's pretty funny. But anyway, show was a must-have for CBS, and then it later went to Nickelodeon, where it got a third season. But anyway, Ace Ventura Pet Detective, that is absolutely funny. It's number 41. And next at number 40 is The Terrible Thunderlizards from 1993. Now, this was originally intended as a spin-off of Eek the Cat, which you'll see where that winds up later on this ranking. He'll actually, well, I'll give you a heads up, he's actually in the second half, so stay tuned for that coming up. But anyway, this area is part of the Eek extravaganza. I gotta say, this was an absolute funny filled action-packed show, and I do like the characters. We have let's see, Doc Tari, who voiced by one of the guys who actually worked on the show, Savage Steve Holland, who also worked on Eek the Cat. He does a voice in the style of Arnold Schwarzenegger, like him as John Matrix from Commando, Dutch from Predator, and a bit of the Terminator. Let's see, and there's Daisy Cutter, one of the who was voiced by the co-creator of the show, Bill Kopp, who also voiced Eek the Cat. Yeah, and Bo Diddley Squat. Yeah, was actually originally voiced by Beverly Hills 90210 star Jason Priestley, and then Corey Feldman took over for the final season. Yeah, these are absolutely hysterical characters. I like some of the side characters. General Galapagos, my mistake. Dr. Steggy, and of course, Mr. T-Rex, who of course was voiced by none other than Mr. T himself. And then of course there's the two Homo sapiens, Bill and Scooter. But anyway, and lots of other characters. This show is so fun. I have not seen this in a long time. If I ever find this, I will rewatch this. Terrible Thunderlizards. It's pretty cool. It's number 40, and number 39 is The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 from 1990, originally airing with Captain N, the Game Master's second season. Now, this was the Mario Bros. Together second series after 1989's Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Now, they got different voiceovers from Mario and Luigi since they didn't have Captain Lou Albano and Danny Wells back, so they did get, I do believe they got the same voice actor for King Koopa, though, Bowser. We got the Princess and Toad back in this. We also have the Koopalings in their first appearances, of course, although they use different names than unlike their video game counterparts. I have seen this show. I do believe it has recently been rerun on television on Star's Encore Family Channel. I think it's still on there. I may be wrong, but if it's on, if you've never seen it, give it a try. It's pretty good. I mean, and it does use kind of updated versions of some of the music you hear in the video game and what have you. So it's pretty good and it's fun. It's number 39, and number 38 is Dragonflies from 1996. Now, I did catch this. It's based on the toy line from Galoob for a couple seasons, and of course, this was a French American animated series produced by Gaumont. Of course, it premiered the same year. Well, of course, Dragonflies was for the guys, and that same year we got a cartoon for the girls' versions of these characters, which was Sky Dancers. But anyway, yeah, it's set in the 41st century, and we see these heroes. It focuses on a coalition known as the Dragonators, a combination of dragon and aviators, a set of humans who ride on dragonback in search and rescue operations. Yeah. But I think this is a pretty good show. I like the characters. It's been a long time since I've last seen this show. Of course, I like their lines, "Flight is might," which that's at the beginning of the theme song. I need to find that. I've tried to find it, but somehow I found a different version of it. So anyway, Dragonflies maximize. I really do like these dragonflies. They kind of do resemble like they are in the toys almost. I like Dreadwing, that's the villain of this. Yeah, really cool. There's all sorts of characters on this show. So, like I said, it's been a long time since I last saw this. There was also a movie as well, an animated feature that came direct to video. So anyway, Dragonflies, it's a pretty cool show. It's number 38, and number 37 is Ultra Force from 1995. Now, this show aired on the Amazing Adventures block, produced by Deke, along with Bobot Entertainment, who of course produced the block. This is based on the comic book series from Malibu Comics. Of course, that's the company that did Men in Black, and it was later done by Marvel. I think this is easily a very underrated show. This came out after Jim Lee's Wildcats came out the previous year, which that serves as an honorable mention. That didn't make the list, I'm sorry. But I did like Ultra Force a bit because this was just one comic I was not familiar with. But after watching it, I really did like it. Of course, it focuses on the characters from the Ultravores, including the Super Strong Prime, the Warrior Queen of Gwendor Topaz, the spokesperson for Ultratech Prototype, the Undead Ghoul, and he's of course the last surviving member of the Exiles, one of the first public Ultras, Hardcase, and the mysterious Contrary, who organized the team and provided their technology. Yeah, I think this was, like I said, a pretty good show and what have you. And like I said, it's very underrated and what have you. And there was also an action figure line from Galoob. So, I gotta say, it's pretty good. I see that this was heavily dissed though, but, well, to heck with what they say. Don't mind what people say. I have seen Ultra Force. It's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, I'd say give it a try. So, Ultra Force is number 37, and number 36 is Super Dave, Daredevil for Hire from 1992. Easily another underrated show. But I used to love watching this. This came on the Fox network, produced by Deke. And of course, it's of course, is an animated version of fun misadventures of the late great actor Bob Einstein, better known to us as Super Dave Osborne. Yeah, he along with Art Irizawa provide the voices of both Super Dave and his assistant Fuji. Of course, they appeared as themselves in live-action skits, which ended at each episode. But unfortunately, when it got rerun on Toon Disney, they removed those. I don't know if you can find those again, but I always loved watching this. It was a pretty big success. I always loved Super Dave's famous catchphrase, "No pain!" once he gets in so much hurt. It's pretty funny. I think y'all check that out. If you've never seen Super Dave, the Super Dave animated series, it's absolutely hysterical. Anyway, Super Dave is 36 and number 35 is Bump in the Night from 1994. Now, this, of course, was a differently animated series. Of course, these characters, after having success of being in the Saturday morning commercial bumpers the previous year on ABC, they soon got their own series. Of course, we have Mr. Bump, this here this green creature who lives on the bed and eats socks and what have you. Absolutely real funny. And we have as blue blob friend Squishington, or Squish for short, and of course the silly doll Molly Coddle. Yeah, they had so much fun-filled misadventures and stuff like that, and of course the karaoke cafe at the end that was absolutely hysterical. Yeah, it was okay. It used stop motion animation, but I do love some of this show. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Destructo the robot. That's Mr. Bumpy's rival. Yeah, pretty funny. And the closet monster. Yeah, they're pretty funny characters. I think it's a pretty good show, Bump in the Night. I did catch in reruns when Toon Disney aired it. Not too bad of a show. Bump in the Night, that's number 35, and number 34 is Sky Surfer Strike Force from 1995. Now, this aired on the Amazing Adventures block, and it ran for 2 seasons. I really enjoyed this, of course. It's about 5 heroes led by Jack Hollister, aka Sky Surfer 1, along with his allies, Mickey, aka Crazy Stunt, Nate, aka Air Enforcer, Brad Wright, aka Sore Loser, with spelled S-O-A-R, and Kimberly, aka Sliced Ice. I think she was Jack's girlfriend, but I think I might have been wrong because this has been a long time since I last saw the show. We also had the villain Cybron. Yeah. Now, it had an epic intro and what have you, but however, the second season they replaced it with a hard rockin' tune done by a Japanese all-rock girl group called Super Junkie Monkey, and it was called Sky Surfers. And then at the credits, there was a jazz theme tune called I Call Myself Sliced Ice. Anyway, the Sky Surfers use technologically advanced watches that transform them into from their casual clothing to their belt attire and weapons, similar to children's Sentai Jetman. And during the transformations, their cars transform into rocket-powered surfboards that they can ride in the air. Yeah, pretty cool show. It's one of my few favorites from the Amazing Adventures block. If you haven't seen it, I think y'all check it out. So, Sky Surfer Strike Force is number 34, and number 33 is Tango and the Guardians of the Magic, also from 1995. Now, this one's pretty underrated, and it was produced by Saban, and this was a chick toon, though Sailor Moon was big, but that was anime though, but this is actual animation. And of course, it's centered on the fictional adventures of Mariko Itakura, better known to us as real-life magic gal from Japan, Princess Tango. Along with her allies, they take on two former apprentices of hers that gone bad and what have you. The show only lasted 13 episodes this season. Now, at the end of each episode, she would appear in a live-action segment to perform Iron Illusion, which you can't do because she warns us, or do her teacher trick, which you can try at home. But unfortunately, it didn't catch on, and it was kind of beaten by another chick toon, but I'll explain about that when I get to it. But I have rewatched some of the episodes on YouTube. I think they're on here. They're still on here. But if you've never seen this show, I'd recommend you give it a try. I know it's not one of the best, but this show is easily an underrated program in my book. I really do love Tango. It's pretty good. So Tango and the Guardians of the Magic is number 33, and number 32 is The Pirates of Dark Water. Now, I'm probably going to get this is probably going to be controversial. I'm sure some of you 90s cartoon lovers would probably have this higher, but unfortunately, I didn't get to watch this a lot because I had other shows in the way since this came on ABC, and if the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, it was one of the last shows to include the Swirling Star before it ever got resurrected in 1999 with the first few seasons of the Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network. But I have seen reruns of the show on Cartoon Network. It was pretty good. And David Kirshner was an executive producer. Of course, he was best known for producing the Child's Play series as well as An American Tale. Anyway, I do like the characters from the show, including Ran Tula, who was voiced by Joey Benson, of course, best known for voicing Ariel in The Little Mermaid. Let's see, Eoz is a pretty good character, and we have Niddler, who's actually the comic relief for this, and let's see, Bloth, of course, that's the villain of the show, and all these other dark characters. Yeah, I think this show could have done a little better, and I wished it did even after I watched it. But anyway, The Pirates of Dark Water, it's a pretty good show. It's number 32 on the list, and number 31 is Freakazoid from 1995. Now, this was one of the first shows to come on the Kids WB block. And, of course, it was done by, some Steven Spielberg, who presented this for his Amblin Entertainment Company after already having success with Tiny Toons and Animaniacs, and, of course, Pinky and the Brain, which premiered the same year. Of course, it was created by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, and developed by Tom Ruegger, who, of course, were no strangers to doing Warner Bros. Shows because they had already worked on Batman, the animated series, and others. Of course, this is about this geeky dude, Dexter, I think his name, while surfing on the internet, something crazy happens, and he becomes the superhero Freakazoid, who's absolutely crazy. The show also has many episodes of adventures of other bizarre heroes, but the show unfortunately only ran for 2 seasons, but it did well. After it got canceled, it later got into reruns, in Cartoon Network, which is where I saw it, and it of course became a cult hit. But I haven't watched this in a long time. I may give it another chance. We'll see. So Freakazoid, it's a pretty funny show. It's number 31, and number 30 is Sonic the Hedgehog from 1993. Now, this, of course, was the Saturday morning show I'm talking about, not Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which premiered in syndication that same year. This, of course, is the darker toned Saturday morning version that aired on ABC. I will say it's a pretty good show. Well, I liked Adventures of because it had more funnier stuff, but even so, it's pretty good. I like Sonic, who of course was voiced by Jaleel White, best known for playing Steve Urkel on TV's Family Matters. I like some of the other characters. Princess Sally, Bunny Rabbit, Antoine. Tails is in it. Well, and dark version of Dr. Robotnik is pretty good, but I liked Avengers of Sonic the Hedgehog's Dr. Robotnik a little more. Don't hate me for that, but it's pretty good. I do like the theme song where it says that he's the fastest thing alive, and right they are. Now, this show is currently airing on the Stars Encore Kids and Family channel. Check it out if you haven't seen it, or if you have not seen it, I'd say go ahead, give it a try. I think you'll really like it. So, Sonic the Hedgehog is number 30, and number 29 is the Tom and Jerry Kids Show from 1990. Yeah. Now, this was one of the first shows to come on the Fox network. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera along with Turner Entertainment, who of course bought the rights to the show. I will say it focuses on toddler versions of the zany cat and mouse duo who are always after each other, and they still are in this series. Well, I didn't quite catch on with this at first, but soon I watched it a little more just because I didn't have much more. But anyway, we had all sorts of hysterical fun, what have you. But anyway, the show's violence level, well, is far closer to the original cartoons than the previous series, like Filmation's Tom and Jerry Comedy Show, which I will be doing a Saturday Morning TVLog of that show and this show later on this month, and it's somewhat milder than Hanna-Barbera's 70s Tom and Jerry show. Of course, there was also some other characters. There was Spike and Tyke, really funny. Yeah. Let's see. And there's Droopy and Dripple. Yeah, because that's his... Yeah, Dripple's son. And after this, he later has his own series, Droopy Master Detective, and then Blast Off Buzzard, which that was a new series of an older character from old Hanna-Barbera cartoon from the 70s, the CB Bears, and he's still up to his old tricks, trying to catch the worm Crazy Legs, but unlike the original series, he actually talks. So anyway, the Tom and Jerry Kids, it's pretty funny. So anyway, that's number 29, and number 28 is Back to the Future from 1991. Now, this was the first ever animated series from Universal based on the movies in the same name. It came out a year after Back to the Future Part 3 came out. Of course, it had, Dan Castellaneta was best known for voicing Homer Simpson on The Simpsons, voicing Doc Brown, although it does have live-action segments at the beginning and ending featuring the actual Doc Brown from the movies, Christopher Lloyd. And, let's see. We also do get the Marty McFly, And of course, Doc Brown's wife Clara and their sons Jules and Vern, and the family dog Einstein. Yeah. And of course, we have the time-traveling DeLorean as well. We have the film's villain Biff, of course. Also, there's also a recreated version of Back in Time, which you heard in the movie. And of course, each episode ends with a little science experiment done by Bill Nye. Before his show even came along, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Yeah. Back to the Future, it was pretty good. I caught it when it originally aired on CBS. I did catch it when it later got rerun on the Fox network in 2003. But anyway, the show did get released on DVD a few years ago, so if you haven't seen it, I'd say check it out. I am going to review the Back to the Future series sometime for the film's 35th anniversary, so be ready for that. And I love when Doc Brown ends every episode with, "See you in the future." So Back to the Future, animated series, that's number 28, and number 27 is Biker Mice from Mars from 1993. Now, I did catch this a few times. It didn't quite catch on with me much at first, but I did have some respect for it. I watched that a little bit. Of course, it follows these anthropomorphic, I have trouble with that word, mice motorcyclists Stralo, Moto, and Vinny who escape a war on their home planet Mars before arriving to defend Earth from the evil that destroyed their homeland, the Plutarchians, and to one day return. Yeah. Of course, they take on all sorts of bad guys and what have you. Especially Lawrence Lactavius Limburger, the main antagonist, along with his sidekicks Dr. Carbuncle, Grease Pit, Fred the Mutant, and several others. Of course, I like them. Charlie, the mice's human friend, and is also a mechanic. Really great character. I did see the 2006 reboot of this. It's pretty cool too. But I gotta rewatch the original version because I know that I'm sure a lot of y'all like that more than the 2006 version, which is completely understandable. I think it's pretty cool. This show is easily underrated, but it's really cool. And rocks, too. So, Biker Mice from Mars is 27, and number 26 is Jim Henson's Dog City from 1992. I really love this. This came out, well, just about about a couple years after the death of Jim Henson. But I think this was absolutely a fun-filled show produced by Jim Henson Productions along with the Canadian studio Nirvana. Now, Dog City was originally supposed to be a made-for-TV movie, and it has special and what have you. It combines animation with, well, Muppet performances, dogs and what have you. I really loved the show. Now, the Muppet portions focus on the interactions between the animator Elliot Shag and his cartoon creation, Private Eye Ace Hart. Yeah, I always loved this. Now, Elliot would illustrate the stories while Ace would go traverse through it, occasionally breaking the fourth wall to speak with Elliot. Yeah, because Ace always... not always. Sometimes yells out, "Elliot!" and the cartoon stops like an old film reel or something. That is absolutely funny. I liked a lot of the characters on the show. Like Ace's love interest, the chief of detectives, Rosie O'Gravy, Eddie, the news pup, and of course the villain of the show, Bugsy Vile, and his goons, Frisky, Mad Dog, and Bruiser. a lot of the other characters, the other Muppet characters. Elliot's really good. Ari, well, of course, who is Elliot's young friend and son of Terry, who of course would be part of the cast in the second season. But even so, this show had a whole load of, well, I can't say bow wow fun. If you've never seen this, I definitely would recommend this show if you never saw it. But anyway, that's Jim Henson's Oxy for you. That's number 26, and I'll do it for the first half. What did you think? Are any of these shows your favorites? Please tell me in the comments below. Like and subscribe to my channel as well and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned for part 2 coming up later on. Now, if you liked what you saw, you can check out some of these recent videos. Now, in the upper left-hand corner is last week's Saturday Morning TVLog, which is on Dioma Dog Wonder from 1976. And in the upper right-hand corner is my May schedule for this month, if you haven't checked out to know what's going to be up for my mischievous May. And the bottom left-hand corner is my special review of Ernest's Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2, where I talk about a lot of the commercials done by the late great Jim Varney as Ernest P. Worrell. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching. And stay tuned for part 2 coming up. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.